Hi guys, how's it going? JK from Guitar Boost, the online guitarist magazine. So today's a bit more of a sort of informal video. We're taking a look at Amplitube 3, which is a great little piece of software for guitarists. This is the free version that I'm using. So you can use it for sort of recording into your DAW at the minute. So I'm using Logic Pro 9 to record it into on a Mac, but it's Windows compatible as well. You can do all sorts with it. So today we're just going to take a quick look at it. Like I say, it's the free version, so anybody can get it if they want to get it. So a couple of things you want to be careful of before you're starting. You need a computer that's capable of recording, and so on and so forth. So what I'm running a MacBook Pro 4GB. I think it's the 2010 version, could be the 2011 version actually. So I'm running that. It's got 4GB of RAM, all the nerdy stuff. I mean, you can run it on a Windows PC. I wouldn't recommend anything really below a gig of RAM. If you head to the Amplitube website, I'm sure they'll tell you that. But it's fantastic for sort of if you want to get a couple of licks down, recorded, or sort of an introduction to recording really, because nobody wants to mic up an amp nowadays really. Well, you got to think the impracticalities of it as well. Sort of miking up an amp, especially if it's a valve amp. You've got to crank the notes off it, and your neighbours won't like it. It's just a great little tool to get your ideas down. So this is the free version, like I say, which comes with what's called the Amplitube Custom Shop. So you get a couple, you get 3 or 4 amps given to you. Like this is the American Tube Clean. You get 2 of these. It's just what it says on the tin. Just a nice clean amp. I don't think they're allowed to use that much product placement unless they're authorised by the makers of the amp. So I'm guessing it's a sort of Fender clone, but they just don't want to slap Fender on it. Sort of this is blatantly a Marshall clone. So I mean, this is more of a sort of plexi style, like it says. You can choose sort of 50 watt EL34. You have loads of options available to you, sort of. So I can get the 100 watt EL84. Solid state. I have loads at 6L6 valves, so you have loads of options to chop and change what you're using. I mean, this is more the style sort of plexi style amp, so the higher you turn up the volume, the sort of the crunchier it's going to get. At the minute I'm using the camera mic, I'm going to give you some high quality audio samples at the end of this video, but you can hear my Strat already buzzing from it. So that's another one. A great thing with this, where I think Amplitube have sort of really done a good job, is that you can pick what you want to use. You have these standards. You have this sort of bass head thingy going on as well, which is just basic amp. Put bass guitar through that, whatever. But I've got this, which is an AD30 amp simulator. Now, where I've got this from, with the package comes what's called the Custom Shop, which is Amplitude's little store where, if you buy things in the store, so you can buy certain amp models and things. So you got your sort of Jet City, your Soldano, really high gain, high amp, which I guess is, it says there based on a high watt. So it's pretty, you got also sort of little 57 champ with the 1x8 cab. So you have the cabs that go with it as well. You can trial things, trial certain amps. It's once every 2 months that you can trial something, which is great for, sort of the try before you buy sort of thing, which is fantastic because, you don't know what it's going to sound like. Well, I'm really into my oranges, so I tried this AD30, which you saw in my interface earlier. But you have everything here, sort of 57 Deluxe, sort of really old Fender Bassman style stuff, sort of Vibra King. I'm sure you've got other stuff, sort of Dual Rex and stuff like that. One thing about the interface on this though is it is very, very slow. I mean, I know it's not my computer, because it's you know, it's pretty quick when it comes to any sort of its own stuff. Then again, Pro Junior OI 120. So you've got loads of different amps to have a go at. So you can go from anything from sort of Fender glistening cleans to really heavy, overdriven stuff. Now, I'm really tempted to try out some of the Soldano stuff, which I might go back to, because I think I'm going to buy a couple of these. Sort of expand my collection a little bit. But you got sort of British Chopper 30 TB, so that's based on a Vox AC30 copper panel with the cabinet to go with it. And you can buy more or less everything here. You know, you can buy racks, mics, cabs, the amps themselves, stomp boxes. So you got sort of a full. We'll click on stomp boxes. So it is a really cool interface to use, and you can you don't have to pay I think it was roughly around $300, so that's about £200 in British money. But it seems ideal, because you just get what you want, and you know, you don't have to spend 200 quid at once. You know, you can buy the points. Now the points themselves, oh sorry, they're called credits. So you purchase credits, and so many things cost you so many credits. So I currently have no credits, so if I were to add credits, how much would that cost me? Right, 20 credits for $14. $15. Obviously, the more credits you buy, the more it is, but the cheaper it works out. So to buy that orange sort of simulation, it cost me $14.99. That's in dollars, so it's roughly about a tenner. Now, you could argue that a tenner for an Orange AD30 is bargain of the century. But this thing, I ain't got loads of faith in it, but it's, you know, it does its job. Personally, I'd use this for just getting down ideas of certain stuff, and really just sort of testing stuff out. I'm going away for 3 months away from my studio, and I can't take a lot of gear with me. So the idea in me getting Amplitube was to sort of be able to take that on the road with me, wherever I went, and I can just sort of practice with the simulators and whatnot. The interface itself is, you know, it's got everything you need. It's really self-explanatory. I mean, I've had it for a couple of hours, and I've just been messing with it. And you can find all sorts of different stuff. I mean, you got your channels. You can run 2 amps at the same time if you like, A, B, and amp. So like, I'm using this orange AD30 head, and I've got the 212 AD30 cab with it. But what if I fancied using a different cab? So I use the running AD30 through a bass cab, which adds a little bit, sort of like you said, add a little bit more sort of bass range and things like that. So if I move this around, you can also choose what mics you're using and the mic placement, so you can sort of bring them back, bring them forward, right on the cone. You can do what you please with it, which is a fantastic feature. I mean, you know, I can pair it up with the Marshall cab. I can pair it up with sort of the 212 vintage, open vintage. So I'm guessing with there to match the heads, which are sort of the Fender stuff. So that's all for part 1. If you stay tuned to the Guitar Boost YouTube channel, I'm going to go into some of the other areas of Amplitube, and then we're going to hear some samples. So stay tuned for part 2.